You're watching First Take, presented by Bass Pro Shops.
Saturday, it's Holiday Hoops, presented by Kay Jewelers at Madison Square Garden. Number 7 Duke taking on number 25 Utah. That's at noon Eastern in a journey to the tourney game brought to you by Sonic. Then it's NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. That's tomorrow night on ESPN at 8 Eastern. The Clippers take on the Spurs. Then at 10:30, the Pelicans take on the Suns. Our coverage tips with NBA Countdown charged by Dew at 7 on ESPN. Despite the reports about Dwight Howard being unhappy in Houston, sources are telling ESPN.com's Calvin Watkins that Howard has not expressed a desire to get traded, but that doesn't mean he'll opt in to the rest of his current deal with the Rockets. Howard has a player option for next season at $23.2 million. The team expects him to become a free agent and take advantage of the salary cap that is projected to expand. Howard told USA Today Sports that he wants things to work in Houston. Stephen A., how's this going to end?
Can't rule out anything right now. The reason I say that is because obviously when he negotiated this deal and had to opt out after 3 years, all the noise that was being made about him passing up on $118 million to take $30 million less from Houston was a bit much ado about nothing, because they knew that the TV deal was coming up. They knew he'd be in a position to get an exorbitant amount of dollars to make up for what he gave up over the first 3 years had he remained in L.A., and that would be that. But I think the thing you have to be concerned about now with Dwight Howard in Houston is the fact that, you know, even though I don't think that he's been a distraction in terms of being a malcontent and complaining, I don't think that he is as happy as he expected to be. Skip Bayless, right now, Trevor Ariza is attempting more shots per game than Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard is attempting 8 shots per game. Trevor Ariza is shooting 10 times a game. When Dwight Howard came to Houston, the belief was it would be a 1-2 punch with him and James Harden. When Dwight Howard elected to go to Houston, his whole mentality was that I got a young dude like James Harden to play with me for years to come, as opposed to an aging dude in Kobe Bryant who will be departing. So he looked at all of those things, and that had a lot to do with him selecting to go to Houston, along with Kevin McHale being the coach, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon helping to coach him, combining with one another to help improve his skills as a legitimate big man, bona fide big man in the post in this game. None of those things have materialized. And I think that with Dwight Howard, money is definitely important to him. We're not going to deny that. But he's one of those guys. His happiness matters. And if he's not happy anywhere, he'll want to go elsewhere. That's how he is. That is how he is built. So I don't know what's going on in Houston. I haven't checked, to be quite honest with you. Haven't been that interested in it. They're 2 games under 500. They're the 7th seed in the playoffs right now, and the playoffs were to begin today. In the Western Conference, they would be going up against San Antonio in the first round, which means they would lose. But in the end, what it comes down to is that they need to pay attention to this, because it's not just about money. Dwight Howard is the kind of dude, if he is unhappy, he will jump ship. It's all a matter of what's true and what's false. Is he happy or not? But if he is unhappy, he will leave. That's in his makeup.
Boy, we've done a lot of topics over the years on this show about Dwight's happy or unhappy, happy, unhappy. It just seems like every other day he's happy or he's unhappy.
Orlando, L.A., Houston now.
Happy, unhappy. Yeah. So,
fair enough.
Back to your shot selection, or your shot attempts. While Dwight Howard is attempting 8 a game, James Harden is attempting 20 a game. So is he happy, unhappy? He said it was all lies off yesterday's report. That, what was it, Sheridan Hoops that reported? Is that what it was? Yeah, Sheridan Hoops reported that he would want to be traded. Yep. All lies, says Dwight. Okay. So will we hear today that this report is also, or this possibility is all lies, that he will not opt in to stay in Houston next year and take the $23.2 million, which, by the way, to me sounds like pretty good money given Dwight's production to this point in the season. Maybe that will flip around, but I doubt it. So, again, how will James Harden and company, how will the whole franchise take this report that Dwight's leaning toward opting out and exploring the market? Wouldn't that hurt your camaraderie, your chemistry, your unity right now? Wouldn't that be another blow to the unity? Seems like it would be.
Possibly. I mean, there's no question about that, because if you're James Harden, you're thinking about the load that you've been carrying over the last couple of years, primarily due to injury, in part to Dwight Howard last year. But there's no question that James Harden has been the face of this franchise and has lived up to the expectations of being the face of that franchise. Dwight Howard, primarily due to injuries, has not done so. And so when you look at it from that perspective, just the notion that he's unhappy, you know, people are going to look at James Harden. Maybe James Harden shooting the ball too much, not passing the ball enough. That's not the issue. I'm saying people could potentially say that, and it could potentially be the issue for all we know, because there are times when he dribbles a little bit too much before he shoots, as opposed to giving Dwight Howard the ball. That could factor into the equation. Again, I don't know. I haven't checked. But in the end, what it comes down to is that I am telling you what I do know. Dwight Howard will not stay anywhere where he's unhappy, and there's an option for him to leave. He will jump ship. That I do know.
We do know that. And remember, the final X factor in the equation is the Ty Lawson experiment. Is it fair to say it has failed so far, to have the pure point guard and let James Harden play the two? No.
Nah. We ain't feeling it so far. Not so far.
No.
So we'll continue to monitor Howard's moves and his moods there. You know who I have to assume can't be in a great mood right now? Peyton Manning, back on the field, running the scout team for the Broncos. You heard that right, running the scout team, Peyton Manning in Denver. We'll react to that story after the break.
This is a witch hunt. I'm sick to death, dead wrong. The odds are in your favor. No, you don't. High and dry. It's unbelievable. Tell me you can't close that deal. I won the fight.
First Take is presented by Bass Pro Shops. Time passes. Hold on to Christmas. And in part by the Citi Double Cash Card.
Skip Bayless, Peyton Manning ran the scout team.
What?
Yeah, you heard it.
Peyton Manning? That's blasphemy.
Yeah.
Wow. Stephen A. Smith, it has come to this at age 39 for Peyton Manning. I'm not sure he's ever run a scout team. I could be wrong back in his early high school days, but in this case, I guess this is the only way for this man to play his way back into any kind of football shape, is to run the scout team plays.
He's just practicing as a scout team. He's just getting himself back into gear. There's nothing wrong. You want the workload to be as light as possible. He's Peyton Manning, and intellectually, he brings so much to the equation. Everyone benefits as long as he's involved in terms of giving you, assisting your mental approach to the game.
Maybe he's torching that Broncos defense.
I doubt it. They're number one in yards, points, against the pass, and number 3 against the rush. Their defense is elite. You don't have to worry about that.
Have a good day. Bye, everyone.